my people. Welcome to another one of our special content. Today it's gonna be an English content, and even though he's bilingual,
Yes, I am.
see, but we want to go more in the influencer, American, Ocala, native side. So, we're here today with Rob.
Rob, how you doing? I'm nice.
He's a influencer here in Ocala. He does a lot of TikTok. He does a lot of stuff that we want to ask questions about.
Yes,
But
sir.
first, I have 10 questions I want to ask Rob, and then we go from there.
All right, I'm ready.
What is the first question will be? What is the odd one out on your resume or hobby list?
Odd one now. Honestly, I don't think I could pinpoint one. I think my whole list is odd.
Okay.
I've always marched to the beat of my own drum. I'm always been the outcast.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say all of the above.
Perfect. If you had a free Saturday with no chores and no plans, what does the perfect morning look like?
Wake up, walk my dog, make breakfast, and go back to sleep.
It's like that song. I wake up in the middle of the day. Yeah, okay.
Because we're busy and we always want more sleep.
Yeah. What is a topic you could give a 20-minute presentation on with zero preparation?
Trauma.
Trauma?
Yes. Childhood trauma.
Let's go. We're going to go back to trauma. Once we're done with the questions, that way we could clip this, but that's a good topic right there. Are you a plan every detail traveler, or you just show up and see what happens, traveler?
I am with a go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
All we're doing is we're booking the flight and the hotel and the car, and the rest we're going to explore.
I like it. What is the best piece of media, book, movie, or album you have consumed lately that you think is underrated?
I'm going to have to say a classic because I consume it all the time. E.T.
E.T.?
E.T. is always and will forever be my all-time favorite movie.
Okay, I took a picture with E.T. once.
Yeah. Funny story. I used to live in California.
Okay.
And as a kid, I used to go to Universal all the time. And I never got on the ET ride. And then we moved to Florida. And when I first went to Universal in Florida, they had took the ET ride off. And I'm like, no. But like 2 years ago, my sister was like, what are you doing one day? And I'm like, nothing. So let's go to Universal. We went. And as an adult, I finally made my wish come true to get on the ET ride.
Yeah. Well, when I got here to Florida, they shut down Holy Land.
Okay.
And I wanted to see it. I couldn't.
You ever been to Noah's Ark?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I did.
Okay, cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
I came from Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, let's dig a little deeper. What is a small win you've had this week that you haven't told anyone about it yet?
This week that I haven't told anybody? I'm coming up on a month of no soda.
Wow. Yeah. I like it.
I know I'm on a little weight loss journey. I started going to the gym last week.
What gym you go to?
Planet Fitness, right there by the Walmart on Easy Street.
Okay. Is there a specific skill or craft you always wanted to learn but haven't had the time to start?
I want to learn more languages. I started learning Arabic through Duolingo, and I had like 250 days in, and I don't remember one word.
Okay, salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Okay. What piece of advice you received years ago that actually stuck with you?
You have the power to create your reality. All you have to do is show up.
Okay.
Stop making excuses. I am a firm believer that anything that you can think of is possible in this world. All you have to do is work hard, set goals, and set intentions, and be very intentional with your time, with what you do.
Yeah.
Because we create it.
Yeah.
And even if you want to take it to a religious point of view, yeah, God has a purpose for everybody.
Yeah.
And you can pray for something, but it's not going to come out of the sky.
Yeah.
You have to put action into it, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. I believe that too. What does community mean to you in your daily life?
Community is everything. Being a loner most of my life, I grew up moving around a lot. I went to 15 different schools. I was always a new kid. I never had no friends. So up until recently, I never really had a community. And not having a community led me to drugs, alcohol, partying, meeting up with people that I shouldn't, doing stuff that I've been to jail. I don't even remember how many times. I could get a whole poster made about my mugshots. But community is very important. We were made as human beings to thrive in community. You can't do it alone.
Exactly. I believe that too. And this is the last one. If you could go back and see any historical event or concert in person, where would you go?
I know this might sound cliche because we are in a church and I grew up in church, but I would love to see the crucifixion.
Okay.
Believe it or not. Not even in a weird way to be like, oh, I want to see him die.
Or intervene.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say, I want to go back and intervene.
No, but just seeing him die for our sins and then being able to witness him coming back to life, I think pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. And now here I'm feeling bad because I wanted to see Bon Jovi.
That works too.
That is very crazy. So we have Robb. Like I said, Robb is a part of our community. And Robb has a bunch of topics that we would like to speak today. Mm-hmm. First of all, Robb, what does this mean? You're sprinkling.
My sprinkling, I don't know if you guys have ever watched Little Rascals, but that's where I got it from when they go like this.
Okay.
But I make a post daily saying that I'm sprinkling my magic over the world because I want to remind people that we need to have a childlike mentality in the sense of dream big.
So it has a purpose. It's not random.
No, it is not. And then after, in the caption, I always put, I'm going to change the world.
Yeah.
Because for the people that actually take the time to read what I write in my captions, I want to infiltrate their brain and train and rewire their brain into thinking that they can achieve anything. Nothing is impossible. And for me, changing the world was something that I felt like one person can't do. But so I want to put something outrageous out there so that people say, well, if every day they're reading, I'm going to change the world, I'm going to change the world, I'm going to change the world, and I'm sprinkling my magic over them, you know, then if they can change the world, then they can do everything else that they have going on. So I'm trying to rewire the same way that they do with television, with programs, with music. They wire us and they program us to want certain products, to want this. I want to rewire people's brain into wanting a better life for themselves.
Are you a fan of Kanye West?
In the past, some of his music, yes. He's a little questionable.
Well, no, but what you're saying sounds a lot like the stuff he's been saying.
Okay. Like, I have not heard him say that.
You have the power to change it.
Yeah.
You have the power. And basically, I saw an interview the other day. He's saying, through my music, I'm telling people,
okay,
you could do it.
Go listen to all my music. It's the codes of self-esteem. It's the codes of who you are. If you're a Kanye West fan, you're not a fan of me. You're a fan of yourself. You will believe in yourself. I'm just the espresso. I'm just a shot in the morning to get you going, to make you believe that you can overcome that situation that you're dealing with all the time.
And that's what I'm trying to do too. I've never heard that from him, but that's essentially the same thing that I'm doing. I am manifesting a better life for all of my followers and all the people that support me.
I like that. So we cover the sprinkles. Now let's talk about weight loss.
Okay.
I was a heavy guy.
Okay.
Maybe 315.
Okay.
For me, that was a lot. One day I saw myself in the mirror. I don't know why. Boom. I'm humongous.
You don't even notice that it happens overnight.
Yeah. So I stopped drinking soda.
Okay.
Started dropping weight. Stopped eating like crazy. Changing my habits.
Yeah.
Doing exercises. Started getting better. Right now I'm in 284.
Okay.
I have struggled. This is the first time we're gonna talk about this. I haven't talked to anybody.
Okay.
So I struggle a lot with my weight.
Okay.
And how I saw myself. I don't know why, but I let myself go. I would not cut my hair. I every day I shower and brush my teeth, obviously, but my looks weren't the professional looking,
Okay.
and I was just with a polo or a t-shirt, whatever.
Yeah.
I had awakening. I don't know what happened. I don't know what came over me. I don't know. Hit myself against the wall, saw myself, boom.
Yeah.
Tell me your story.
With my whole weight loss thing?
Yeah.
Well, my whole life I've always been a chubbier kid, and growing up, obviously, it just kind of continued. I started my weight loss journey last year in June.
Okay.
I was gonna be turning 36, and my birthday's in July, so I'm like, enough is enough.
When's your birthday?
July 23rd.
Mine's May 28th.
Okay.
And you're gonna be what, 37?
37.
I'm gonna be 37 too.
So there you go.
Whoop. Whoop.
We're getting
whoop.
old. Nah, but we're still young at heart.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just got tired. I'm like, none of my clothes fits. My belly just kept getting bigger.
Did you ever look at yourself and you were like, I'm not happy with this?
Yes, I struggle with depression, anxiety.
Do you think that depression and all of that because of the weight, or is that multiple?
I think the weight had something to do with it, but the depression, a lot of it stems from a lot of the childhood trauma.
Okay, I feel like before we get to that, you know, I feel like I struggle a lot with my with depression, not depression, but like anxiety and borderline depression.
Okay.
I don't want to say depression because
You don't want to claim that over your life, or
number one, and two, I don't want to claim something I'm not 100% sure. I feel like if I'm saying I got cancer, maybe I had stomachache, you know?
yeah,
I had trauma, which we could talk, and I had a lot of bad days in my adult.
okay,
As a father, as a husband, as a Christian, as a believer, it's not been easy for me.
yeah,
So I have struggled with a lot of stuff. I feel great percentage came from not eating healthy.
okay,
Not a spiritual attack or mental disorder, but on what I was putting on my engine and how the engine was.
No, yeah, and you have to also think depression and anxiety has skyrocketed.
Yeah.
What they put in our food and our drinks,
I feel
all
like
of that has a lot to do with
I feel like that. You know, I don't want to take from somebody who's struggling because of their mental health and mental disorders or a spiritual situation. But mine wasn't that.
Yeah.
I have a beautiful wife, beautiful children, money. I do a lot of stuff, but my eating wasn't right.
Yeah.
And transforming that into energy wasn't the correct energy in my body. You know, so
No, and it's very important to watch what you eat too, because like you said, food is it changes your mood. You can go out and have some greasy, fattening food, and then you feel tired and lazy.
Yeah.
You go out and have a salad, you feel different.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I started in June, and I said, okay, I want to start my 36th year different. So let me start before my birthday, a month. I did a 30-day challenge. I went live every single day in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was working out at the equestrian center, going up and down the stadium, and I would go live, talk about my mental health and my trauma, kind of just share a little bit of my addiction and my past and stuff like that. So, but I got burnt out. After that 30 days, I was online for like 10 to 14 hours a day. I overdid it. My body was tired. My mind was tired. So then I said, you know what? Peace out. I don't want to do this no more. Yeah. And I got off of social media for 4 months.
I did that like 2 years ago. I got burnt out. And sometime last year, I got burnt out too because giving.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't have anything else to give. So I did, and I struggled a lot with mental health last year for a lot of reasons. And just because of that, you know, it's just giving and not eating properly. It's not healthy.
Yeah, so I took a 4 month off of social media, and then I stopped working out.
Okay.
So something in November clicked in my brain when I went back on TikTok. I don't know, like you were saying, something just clicked.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? enough is enough. I'm tired of living like this. And like I said, I was struggling with my addiction back and forth. I was clean for years, and then I would relapse a couple months, and then it was back and forth, back and forth. But this time it feels different. My mental is completely different.
Yeah.
The way that I'm handling situations is completely different. My outlook on life and my drive and determination to better myself and make a better life for my family as well is what's keeping me going. And I know this time I'm not going to stop.
Good.
Because I'm allowing myself to have rest days too. Like on Sunday, I went to the pool and slept all day. That's all I did.
It's very important to rest.
Because people don't realize social media gets exhausting.
Yes.
I reply to every comment, to every message, and I get hundreds of messages a day. It's 24/7 constant.
Yeah.
Any free time I have, I'm like, but I've learned to also put my phone down and be like, okay, I've given enough to all these people on social media. I need to give to myself too, because you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yes.
You know, we have to take care of ourselves too.
That's awesome. I like hearing that. What would be your advice for anybody watching us right now that is struggling with weight and maybe mental health issues?
Show yourself grace. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's not going to happen overnight. You're going to mess up. You're going to stumble. There's going to be days where you don't want to do anything, and it's okay. Don't do it if you don't feel up to it. If you force yourself to do something, you're going to have resentment towards that thing. So if one day you say, I don't feel good, I don't want to do this, take a break. Take 2 days. But make sure you hold yourself accountable. Don't take the break too long, because then you're not going to get back on it.
Yeah.
You have to make yourself have a set goal, small goals. You can't be like, I want to lose 100 pounds and only look to that. Say, I want to lose in this month 10 pounds. Set reasonable goals.
Yeah.
That way you can overachieve.
Yeah.
And it's going to boost your confidence.
I think that's what happened to me too. Last year, I put myself to lose an incredible amount of weight, and then I didn't reach it. And when I didn't reach it, it got me really, really upset. And then I was like, I don't know if I should keep doing this, you know?
Yeah. So you want to make sure that you're setting realistic goals for yourself and show yourself grace.
Yeah.
We're all human. We're going to mess up. It's never going to go the way that we planned, but, you know, keep pushing.
Hey, what I tell myself now is that you get days that you could mess up.
And a lot for that, like the people go to the gym, they have their cheat days where they allow themselves to eat whatever they want as a reward for working hard and achieving the micro goals that you set for yourself.
I agree 100% with you. I get my cheat days in everything.
Yeah. Okay, quick question.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing to eat on your cheat day? What is one thing that you look forward to on your cheat days?
Sandwich from Publix.
Yeah.
Or with the soft bread, mustard cheese, and Black Forest ham.
There you go.
Or pizza from Roma's.
Okay.
It's an ad, not pay, but Roma, I love you so much. Yeah.
Collab.
Yeah. Hey, you know me, I know you. You know, you got my number.
Stop playing.
Yeah. Come on, man. You need some Spanish. But yeah, pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza.
That's good.
Maybe a Sprite.
Yeah. I just recently stopped drinking soda, so I can't even, that's off the table.
Yeah, but I don't do it every day.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but
I know myself, and you have to know your boundaries and your limits.
Are you
too.
what I call frenetic, that you start doing something and you can't stop?
Yeah, I have an addictive personality.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it too.
So, but now our addictions are positive things.
Yeah. Like sprinkling good vibes to the universe. Okay.
I'm going to change your life.
Give us your social media to other people.
All right. You can follow me on all platforms. Robb, ROBB, RODD.
Okay. Now you know.
Everywhere. And I have a picture of a little cartoon man from Facebook Messenger.
Yeah. Stop playing. Follow him. Now, let's talk about some good, nitty-gritty stuff.
Okay.
Let's talk about trauma. Let's talk about addiction. Let's talk about boom, bang, ching, bam, church, hurt.
Yes, church hurt. Where do I even start? I grew up in church. My dad's a pastor. I was sexually abused by people in the church and in my family. I never spoke up because I was embarrassed at most. I feel like it's a very important topic to talk about, especially with men, because a lot of men are embarrassed when they do go through stuff like that, and they internalize it, and then it manifests itself in different ways, whether it be multiple women or men, drugs, anger, lashing out against people. So,
Yeah.
And I feel, sometimes I feel guilty because I never spoke up, and I'm like, maybe I should have said something and I could have saved somebody else, because if they were doing it to me,
Yeah.
I know it was happening to other people.
Believe me or not, this touches my heart really deep, being in the position I am in the church.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so crazy to imagine that could happen to my kids,
Yeah.
I don't know what I think I would kill somebody.
And the trauma extends to adulthood.
Yeah.
I was addicted to meth. I used to party a lot. I was very promiscuous. I used to host sex parties. I used to encourage people to do drugs just so they could come join the sex parties that I used to throw. I've never been in a relationship because of my trauma, because for the longest time, I didn't trust anybody. It affected the way that me and my siblings raised my nieces and nephews.
Okay.
Because my sisters also went through the same thing. So
They were also abused.
yes.
Do you mind if I ask you a question while you're talking?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So when you say you were never in a relationship, but you had sex with people.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not a virgin.
Okay.
That's always a follow-up question when I tell people I've never been in a relationship. They're like, "You're a virgin?" I said, "I didn't say that."
Because I don't wanna do like in Puerto Rico they have 12 hearts and they find your girlfriend. I gotta know. So okay. So how many siblings do you have?
5, 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
And you think all of them was abused, or do you know?
I know,
Okay.
but and you know what's the hardest thing? I've seen other people speak up about it in churches, and
In your environment or a different environment?
Adjacent different churches that we were involved with speak up, and the church, which is really sad, was more along the lines forgive and forget and because they want to protect the reputation of the church, or they want to protect the reputation of the person doing it.
Would that person be like a leader?
Yeah. And even with my own experience, when I finally decided to speak up, my parents brought the abuser to my face and said, "Here, forgive them."
They ask you to forgive him.
Yeah. And I was barely processing,
You being
grew up
a young kid.
No, I told them as an adult. I never said anything up until like 3 years ago.
So you, out of nowhere, you came to your parents and be like, "Hey, I was abused by him."
It's like a series of events, but essentially, yes, more or less. In an argument, I kind of brought it up, and we never really
happened. Clang, clang, clang. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
That's it.
and then walked away, and then we never really talked about it up until where they decided it was a good idea to bring the person.
It's just so crazy because I don't want to say anything that it's not in my place, and this is not a place to judge for judgment either you or anybody. That's not what I want. But it's just so mind-boggling that you come to me I'll put myself as your father. You tell me we're the same age, but you tell me this happened, and the mentality is forgive and forget. Like, no more addressing this. Hey, this is it. Just, hey, come here. Hey, out of nowhere.
And at first I was angry, I'm not gonna lie, but thinking back on it, I understand where they were coming from trying to handle the situation that way.
Is the person still active in church?
No, the person is, one of the persons is not alive and the other person is not in this country.
Okay.
But to me, it's like, I understand where they're coming from, because if they were to sit there and really look at the situation, they felt like they failed me as parents. Because I eventually did have a conversation with my mom about it and how they addressed the situation. So I feel like they failed me as parents, and I don't want to be, bring that conversation up because it hurts me to hurt them.
Yeah.
Which is selfless, But in a sense, in order for me to heal, and I've done a lot of healing in the last couple of years, I had to get over that and say, well,
Yeah.
I have to worry about myself. They weren't thinking about me when they were doing that. They weren't thinking about their reputation. They weren't thinking about their church. They weren't thinking about their children. So why should I care about what consequences they have for the actions that they did? It's okay to be selfish sometimes in order to protect yourself.
Yeah, yeah. It gets me a little bit. It gets me a little bit, It gets me a little bit.
And it's hard. And I said, I was embarrassed. I felt guilty for the longest time, which led me to, like I said, a meth addiction, alcohol,
Created trauma.
partying. Yeah, because I'm like, what kind of a person are you? You could have saved all of these people. I beat myself up for years.
So you're blaming you?
I was blaming me.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You were a victim, and now you're blaming you.
I caused a lot of self-inflicted trauma caused by the actual trauma.
No, I understand. I understand that. I got a couple questions. Where did you even find meth?
Here in Ocala. I moved to Ocala.
I mean, I don't want to disclose. I don't want to get shot or killed by anybody. But
even before I moved out here, I was already using any substance you can think of.
Okay.
But I was never really addicted to anything. I did it recreationally. I used to party. I used to be a club promoter in South Florida in my early 20s for a lot of different clubs. Yeah. So the drugs were always there.
Okay.
But the only drug that got me like addicted to the point where I'm like, this is not me, what am I doing? Was meth. I came out here, when I first moved out here, I moved out here because I kept getting in trouble in Palm Beach, and my parents got transferred over here to a church, and my mom like, you're fine. After 6 years of being on papers, she's like, okay, you're free. Come to Ocala, try it out. I came out here, I met somebody, and they introduced me to it. Okay. And it just kind of spiraled out of control. Yeah. I ended up going to jail out here. I did drug programs.
Did you go to jail back in Palm Bay or no?
No, Palm Beach. Yeah, I have.
Palm Beach. Okay.
A whole list.
I got you. Let's not.
And I was a good child.
Let's not give all of it today. We will have more dates. I promise you.
But no, yeah. And then, like I said, I used to hang out with a lot of drug addicts, and because for some reason I have a way of attracting people to crowds and stuff. Yeah, they would use me to bring people to this meth sex parties that we used to.
So if I want to start a cult,
I've always said I will be the one in my family to start a cult.
Okay. Trauma. We talk about addiction. We have talked about me and you previously out of the camera. Mm-hmm. Suicide thoughts. Mm-hmm. What do you want to talk about that?
Don't do it. Do not recommend.
No, of course. Well,
it's hard. Reach out. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
If you get thoughts of harming yourself,
reach out. Don't be embarrassed. I mean, if you don't want to talk to somebody that knows you personally, because a lot of the times you're scared that is going to be some sort of judgment, there is plenty of hotlines out there. And you know what? A stranger. And if you follow me on social media, if you ever have those thoughts, I promise you, I'm nice. Yeah. Message me. I reply to everybody. I'm here for the people. Robb for president.
I'm trying to start a thing like the AA.
Okay.
But to have conversations.
Okay.
Anonymously.
Like a support group.
Yeah, but just you don't need to know me.
Okay.
You just talk and you just listen.
And then I find a lot of the times, a lot of random people message me. It's easier to talk to strangers because you don't have that judgment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like that. Yeah. Okay, so trauma. I got a couple questions here. What is this that you have here? What is that?
This is pyrite and copper.
Okay.
I love wearing copper.
Does that have like a special meaning or what?
Well, they say it has a lot of good for circulation, prosperity, all the good stuff.
Okay, and what is the second one?
This is a magnet in copper. Same thing.
Okay, cool.
I just like it. I think it's cool. Okay. I like rocks and crystals and
So
No crack rocks though.
yeah, please. No those type of rocks. No Uncle Jimmy rocks.
No. Say no to drug, kids. No to drugs.
So what do you think would be a good thing? Not a good thing, but good advice you will give somebody who may go through what you've been through, or may in any scenario. Because it seems like you've been through a lot.
No, yeah, I'm in a completely different space now though. But I would say don't be afraid to be selfish. Who cares what people are gonna say? Who cares who you're gonna hurt by speaking up?
Yeah.
Like I said, for years I blamed myself for being sexually abused. Like you said, I made myself my abuser, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah.
Speak up. You're not alone. I promise you that there is plenty of people that you know are going through the same thing. Don't be afraid to speak up.
Yeah.
We're here to help. There's always somebody out there willing to listen and take you in.
I feel like we have a lot to talk. I feel like we have a lot of questions. But I want to leave that for further interactions.
Okay, that's cool.
I want to let the people know that currently we are working in finding him a relationship. So I don't know what I have to do or how I have to do it.
I'm open for dates.
But we will set up a date and I will pay for the date.
You should do me like a little speed dating. Get some eligible bachelors and bachelorettes and let me be the star. And they all come and try to get with me my heart.
Hey, it sounds like I have somebody interested here today in the audience. So maybe we could do a collaboration.
He's like, I ain't signed up for this.
Well, I want to thank everybody who's paying attention to all this craziness that we were talking about. I know sometimes speaking about trauma and all of this stuff that we spoke is difficult, but I want to let people know that we're here. We're listening.
We're
not
here.
Alone.
You're not alone.
I am Optimus Prime, and I send this message to any surviving Autobots taking refuge among the stars. We are here. We are waiting.
Message me, call me, whatever. If you need to talk to somebody, I'll give you my number. I don't care. I reply to everybody, even the scammers, because I feel like if they're out here stealing from people, then there's obviously something wrong with them. Maybe I could be the one to get through to them and be like, hey, what you're doing is wrong, but what's wrong with you today?
Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling the IRS. The IRS is looking for give me your social security.
Yeah. But somebody has to talk about this stuff. And I'm an open book. I don't care. I'll share my story.
I want to thank you and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. This great conversation. I knew it was going to be great. And like I said, good things are coming.